A voicemail arrives after midnight, a woman's voice humming a Spanish lullaby that only one person should know. Camila freezes, phone shaking. As the melody her late mother sang unfolds word for word from a stranger who ends with a quiet, trembling plea. If you kept the other half of the moon, I think I'm your sister. In a city that never slows down, one secret asks two women to stop, breathe, and choose truth over safety. If fate parted them at birth, what will it cost to stitch the story back together? Camila grew up in East Los Angeles with a mother who stitched wedding dresses by day and sang old boleros at night. On a silver chain, Camila wears a half-moon pendant, edges jagged, like it's waiting for its missing piece. Her mother never explained the charm. She only kissed it and said, "Some loves arrive in chapters." After her mother's passing, Camila builds a small, steady life. A barista job where regulars know her name, weekend volunteering at a community center, long walks that end at the same hilltop view of the city. She has a kind, careful rhythm and a quiet loneliness she hides with humor. When a traveling photojournalist named Andres begins stopping by for café con leche and conversation, she lets herself enjoy his easy laugh and the way he listens without trying to fix her. The voicemail cracks that calm. The caller, Sophia, mentions a hospital in San Antonio, a birth date that matches Camila's, and a lullaby that feels like a hand on Camila's shoulder. Doesn't know if she wants to run toward the truth or protect the delicate life she's built. Andres notices the change, offers help, and promises that curiosity doesn't have to break a heart if you walk slowly. Camila copies the voicemail to a USB drive and stares at the half-moon charm, wondering what her mother chose and what she'd choose now. Camila starts with the paper trail. In her mother's old sewing box, beneath patterns and a measuring tape that still remembers her mother's hands, she finds a brittle envelope addressed to Baby B. The hospital stamp is San Antonio. The date is hers. A second slip, a discharge note, lists a guardian's name she doesn't recognize. Her chest tightens, not from anger, but from the seismic feeling of a story shifting under her feet. She calls Sophia letters. The first conversation is halting, formal, two strangers walking along a rope bridge. Sophia describes growing up in San Antonio with their father, Alejandra, quiet man who ran a garage and kept family photos in a shoebox under the sink. She only knows there was once a different plan that unraveled. She hums the lullaby again. Camila sets the phone on speaker, touches the pendant, and lets a soft, astonished laugh escape. Andres, wiping down the cafe counter after closing, looks up and simply nods, "Go." They meet in a sunny train station halfway between cities. Camila spots Sophia first. Same eyes, same stubborn eyebrow, a different haircut. They both stop, then move at the same time, and when they finally hug, both women exhale like they've been holding their breath for years. A soft laugh, a shaky breath, and the first flood of questions. Over an outdoor table with paper cups of hot chocolate, they trade childhoods, Camila's bustling LA block, Sophia's weekends at the garage, their shared love of old music, and the way thunderstorms still make them count. Sophia brings a shoebox. Inside, a photo of a young couple, Camila's mother, Alina, smiling beside Alejandro, both tired and proud. There's also a folded letter in Elena's delicate script never mailed, explaining a decision made in panic and poverty. One infant would go home with Elena to her cousin S in LA. The other with Alejandro's aunt in Texas, each promising to share the truth when tenderness conquered fear. No villains here, only to young parents who believed sharing the burden would save both children. Camila asks to meet Alejandro. The man who opens the garage office door wears years on his face and carries guilt like a heavy jacket. He stares as if seeing a ghost. His eyes fill. He steps back to a chair and sits. Elena wanted to come back when life was kinder, he murmurs. I waited. I got too afraid to be the one to break your hearts. Camila listens. Sophia squeezes her hand under the table. Camila wants to rage, but what arrives is a long, steady breath and the word that changes rooms. Okay, we're here now, back in LA. Andres brings over takeout and lets Camila talk through the new edges of her life. Their connection deepens in small, domestic ways, stacking dishes, sharing playlists, walking the hill at dusk. When he reaches for her hand, it feels like a question she's ready to answer. He doesn't push. The family puzzle, incomplete for decades, starts to assemble, lowly, imperfectly, honestly. Camila's first turning point isn't the voicemail. It's deciding to listen twice. The second listen shifts the message from threat to invitation. She realizes her fear comes from losing a narrative that kept her safe, not from the woman on the other end. Naming that fear untangles it. Meeting Sophia reframes guilt into grief. Camila recognizes herself in Sophia's cautious humor and learns that resemblance is more than mirrors. It's mannerisms, the way both sisters talk with their hands, the soft laugh that hides overwhelm. Sophia's guardedness makes sense. Loyalty to the father who raised her, and the ache of all that was withheld. Camila feels a new tenderness for the people who made flawed choices in impossible circumstances. Alejandro's confession is the most delicate turn. He expects fury. What he receives is shared responsibility. Camila's restraint isn't denial. It's a mature boundary. She refuses to let rage define the reunion. It's a decision to say, "We're here now." Repositions the story from punishment to repair. That single sentence invites Sophia to protect both bonds, the father who stayed and the sister who arrived. Romantically, Camila's arc is about trust. Andres offers presence, not rescue. His small gestures waiting while she calls. Laughing softly when she needs a breath. Asking for consent before deep conversations. Teach Camila that love doesn't have to demand center stage to be real. Her turning point with him is quiet. She lets him meet Sophia letters. It signals she's shifting from secrecy to integration. The half-moon pendant becomes a living metaphor once Sophia pulls out a matching charm. The other half, her decision about what to do with those pieces, will define how they move forward, together or apart. They plan a simple Sunday in the garage yard, folding tables, paper plates, 3 pitchers of agua fresca, and a Bluetooth speaker playing the boleros that stitched their childhoods. Alejandro grills. Neighbors wander in. Someone brings tres leches with strawberries. It looks like any small family gathering and feels like a homecoming that doesn't need fanfare. Sophia opens the shoebox. Camila unclasps her chain. The sisters press the 2 halves of the moon together. The edges fit them perfectly, with tiny gaps, and that feels right. They decide not to solder the halves. Instead, they trade them, each wearing the other's piece for a season. Sharing becomes a verb, not a promise deferred. Alejandro clears his throat. He apologizes without excuses and names what he took. The chance for them to know each other sooner. He also names what he hopes to give now. Time, transparency, and a father who answers every question he can. Sophia leans into his shoulder. Camila nods, eyes bright, chest steady. Forgiveness doesn't arrive like lightning. Shows up like tide, a little more each visit. When the sun tilts low, Andres asks Camila if she wants to walk the block. She takes his hand. "You okay?" he asks. "I'm learning how to be," she answers. Soft laugh, quiet breath. He squeezes once, not to fix anything, just to witness. She invites him to stay for dinner. Sophia grins at him across the table like an older sister already taking applications. Later, the sisters step aside and sing the lullaby in harmony. Their voices aren't perfect. They don't need to be. The song belongs to both now. They agree to alternate holidays, to set a monthly call, to keep the shoebox and the sewing box side by side in the same closet. The story won't erase the years apart, but it will write new chapters that don't apologize for existing. On the drive home, Camila touches the traded pendant and watches the city lights blur into a soft river. Fate separated them. Choice braided them back together. Somewhere between those truths is a love big enough for sisters, for a father learning to atone, and for a romance that grew by walking, not running, toward what felt honest.